Hello, welcome back to yet another video on the channel. A wise man and a very good country singer, a little controversial obviously, Morgan Wallen once said, "We're talking Tennessee." And as you can probably tell by the shirt and the title of the video, today we will be in fact talking Tennessee. Like I mentioned in my intro video, I was able to go to every Michigan football game this year, bar one. I went to the Florida-Tennessee game in Tennessee in person, as my sister goes to school there. And man, being at the big house for a long time, I've always heard the jokes that people are like, "Oh, it's a library there. You know, it's so much louder other places." It was something special down there. Granted, it was really warm, really nice. It was, college game day was there. The Barstool game day was there. A lot of people were there. It was unbelievable. I mean, everyone there was hyped up, ready to roll. You go to Michigan, you can walk around campus. People are kind of like, half of them don't care. Half of them are like not caring about what's going on, not looking at anything. Tennessee, everyone was wearing school colors. Everyone was wearing everything. Everyone was smiling. A lot of "Go Vols, let's go Vols." That everywhere, right? Signs by Hendon Hooker outside the each like sorority house and frat house. It was really impressive. And when we were in the game, the pageantry was beautiful. Getting in and out of the stadium was a nightmare, but things happen. Logistics around it was brutal. But it's a little bit smaller than Michigan Stadium, which obviously every stadium is. But it was definitely loud most of the game. It was silent when we had the ball, being Tennessee, and when Florida had the ball, it was deafening to the point where I was getting like a headache. And I know it might be weak. A lot of people think that's pretty weak from a little Big Ten kid getting a headache from sound, but it was loud. We were up in the 300 nosebleeds, the end zone. But yeah, it was an unbelievable experience. At that point, it was feeling like 98, and of course it's not, due to Hendon Hooker and getting injured, and Beamer ball, and Georgia being a wagon, which I probably have to face in the national championship game if Michigan's lucky enough to get there. But I just thought we would talk some Tennessee football because, their fans think that they're back, every year. But as a Michigan fan, a probably equally, if not more, storied program in Michigan. But Tennessee, it's been a sleeping giant for a while. There's a lot of teams in like Texas, Notre Dame, things like that. They've been like kind of back. Tennessee's been pretty bad for a while. They had an unbelievable season this year, a decent season the season before, and now you got to go from here. You would maybe could have snuck in over Ohio State, probably not, into the playoff and played Georgia again. But it being Georgia probably would keep you out. But that being said, you got to build it from here. Josh Heupel is unbelievable. The big problem is you're losing your quarterback, right? And losing a quarterback in this day and age is not nearly as bad as it was before. Two reasons why. One, obviously the portal. Two, you have a great system. You made Joe Milton look good, right? Obviously he didn't throw it a lot, but you made Joe Milton look good, which is pretty hard to do. When looking at the other reason, you have the transfer portal. And, I'm looking at this article behind the camera. There's a billion quarterbacks in this dang thing already. This is the first day. Spencer Sanders, he'd come in, give a lot of old credit. Right before I say this, yes, you have Nico Malavea coming in. He's a two-sport athlete, baseball, I believe. He'd probably be playing a bit of baseball, they said. But mostly football, obviously. Some volleyball too, but, it's football. 5-star dual threat from California. Unbelievable guy. Freak athlete. He's going to need a little bit of time to adjust. I think I'd be shocked if they started him next year. I know NIL is kind of like you got to start all 5 years, but I don't know. It's tough to start a freshman and do that well, especially in the SEC. It can be done, yes, but I'm just saying there's other options out there. Spencer Sanders is 80 years old. Not really, obviously, but, that was joke. He's old. He could be interesting to come in. Hudson Card, pass. DJ Uiagalelei, bring in two, Hawaiian-ish native people, and would be very interesting from that perspective. He's a pretty good quarterback, big freak athlete. what people don't realize is Hendon Hooker was pretty bad at Virginia Tech. He was, relatively speaking. Again, this is always talking about elite sports, right? You're bad, but, you're still pretty good. You know what I mean. DJ is objectively a good quarterback. And it's not going to go as far as very good. He's an unbelievable athlete. Tall, strong, fast, all of that. Not the best thrower, but in this system, he could be something special. But again, he's got, I think, 2 or 3 years of eligibility still. You're not really looking for that with Nico. You want a guy to come in and help him out, like a bridge quarterback, which is where you can look at Devin Leary. Now, he's probably the best player in this portal, barring something crazy happening. He's the quarterback from NC State. He turned NC State's program around, got him a lot of buzz, made everyone really happy about him. And you just really got to think that a guy like him with his leadership coming in for 1 year would be unbelievable for Tennessee. He's, Tennessee's right around the area, and you keep him from going to other places. I know he's been rumored to Florida. Someone was joking about, I could see him going to an Alabama or a Georgia and going crazy because Georgia's losing their quarterback too. Alabama's losing their quarterback too. The SEC is going to be different, very different next year. A lot of people are losing it. I think, Spencer Rattler is probably one of the only main quarterbacks coming back. Will Rogers is probably gone, right? Just trying to rack my brain real quick. Whatever's going on in College Station. Auburn's quarterbacks just left. Yeah, I don't know. Might be missing an obvious one, so sorry about that. Will Levis gone too. So getting a good solid quarterback, you could take the division by its hands. Georgia's really good, but obviously losing a quarterback is important, and you were pretty close. Devin Leary's got a lot of experience. He could fill that gap. The only other option you could do for Jeff Sims, Georgia Tech. I'm looking at this list. He's a good dual sport athlete, but again, he's younger. You don't really want a long-term option. Keaton Slovis, no thanks. Malik Hornsby, he's the quarterback from Arkansas. He's an unbelievable athlete. You might be able to turn him into a wide receiver, like a Braxton Miller type. He's just unbelievably fast and quick, and I think just with how much space there is in that Tennessee offense when they do the double-stacked receivers on both sides, and it's, your lineman, you got your quarterback and your running back, and it's, 7-on-7 in that slot, and you have the receivers just kind of stand out there. He would be unbelievable in that system. But there's a few other things. Obviously the defense needs some work. But I think those would be the good quarterback options. Who else are you losing that's big? I'm looking, just clicking down the draft board here. You're losing 2 very, very good receivers in Jalen Hyatt and Cedric Tillman. Tillman's definitely gone. Brew McCoy probably would come back. I'd be surprised if he left. The guy every time he scores, very fun. You gotta think you open up the checkbook to get Jalen Hyatt back. I don't think you'll be able to convince a guy that's going to go in the first round to come back, but I've seen crazier things, especially in the SEC. Is he worth $5 million? I would think so, especially if you go the rookie quarterback route with Nico, right? There's a few other guys in there. Your running backs are actually really good. They're very underrated, as people would have seen in the Vanderbilt game, which I don't know if anyone really watched because it was on the same time as the UNC Notre Dame game, USC, pardon me. But you got to build success year by year, and the transfer portal, you can get guys in, get guys out. You're going to lose some fringe guys. It's hard. A program like Tennessee, you're not going to be losing anybody to the portal, barring a miracle, all at the draft, right? So if you can get some success in the pros, especially, that helps out, and be like, hey, we can get guys there. Michigan was always a problem. They got a few transfer guys in, and it's completely changed everything around, right? You look now at a program like Tennessee, all the pageantry, like I said in the beginning. Where do you go from here? Got to go up. Big step here. Josh Heupel, everyone crowning him, huge, really good coach. Was it because he had really good players? Maybe. But this is where you make your money as a coach nowadays. It's not even, as crazy as it's about to say with my statement here, it's not even about the success on the field half the time. It's about the success for the hype, to sell tickets, and get people in the stadium. Tennessee will sell regardless, but you need to start winning some big games. Alabama this year obviously was awesome. At Alabama next year is a completely different animal, because they could start, me at quarterback, and I'm sure they'd figure out a way to have a juggernaut going, right? So I'm rooting for Tennessee. I hope that, I think, as cliche as it is, it's good for sports when they're back, because I love that there's a bunch of teams in the SEC that are back. If you can get 3 or 4 teams in each side of the division before they get rid of divisions, good, that'd be awesome. So I think Tennessee's in a good spot. Look for them to make a move at the portal. People would think that'd be weird. I think Devin Leary would be unbelievable at Tennessee in that system. In addition to a few other receivers, they've already offered the receiver from Mississippi State. He's escaping my name. Another really good receiver in the portal is, let me find him real quick, Dante Thornton, receiver from Oregon. I think they should go after him. You lose a receiver, most likely 2, you got to go out and bring 3 back in. That's just how it works. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Glad you could be here and listen with me for talking some Tennessee. Sorry if I rambled a bit, but like and subscribe. Thank you for the support, and go Vols.